Hello everyone, I'm Meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 2 p.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. Now we've got some news out of Washington where violence continues to flare up between ICE agents and demonstrators nationwide, and House Democrats are introducing articles of impeachment against the woman at the helm. We're talking about Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. Reporter Molly Martinez picks up the story from Washington, D.C.
Illinois Congresswoman Robin Kelly introduced these articles of impeachment to end what she calls Secretary Kristi Noem's reign of terror.
Secretary Noem, you have violated your oath of office, and there will be consequences.
Secretary Noem faces 3 articles of impeachment. They are obstruction of Congress, violation of public trust, and self-dealing. Congresswoman Kelly says she was denied entry into the Broadview ICE facility in Chicago, which violates her oversight responsibility.
It is our constitutional duty to find out what's happening in these centers where inhumane conditions continue to be reported.
Kelly also accused Noem of getting kickbacks by steering federal contracts to her friends. As for violation of public trust,
we are being terrorized by Homeland Security and ICE.
People are being disappeared. People are being assaulted. And now people are being murdered.
70 Democrats support the impeachment. Republicans, like North Dakota Senator Kevin Cramer, think it's laughable.
Of course they did. I mean, the lawfare is all they have. And articles of impeachment being filed go nowhere in the minority in the House and shouldn't. I think Kristi's done a good job as the secretary.
In Washington, I'm Molly Martinez.
Well, thank you, Molly, for that report. We now want to turn to news out of Camp Lejeune, where some partial gate closes could impact, again, people's entry and exits from Camp Lejeune. Now, beginning tomorrow, installation gates and services on the Camp Lejeune base will close partially for the next month or so. Now, from January 16th to February 17th, the following will be impacted. January 16th, all day long, Piney Green Gate and Contractor Vetting Office will be closed. January 19th, from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., outbound Midway Park Gate will be closed. January 20th, from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., inbound Holcomb Gate and Contractor Vetting Office will be closed. January 21st, from 9 to 11 a.m., the inbound Camp Johnson Gate will be closed. And from 1 to 3 p.m., the Tarwara Terrace 1 Gate will be closed. Now, for a full list of closures, you can head over to our website, WITN.com. And you can also visit the official Camp Lejeune website by visiting WITN.com. Now for your weather forecast, it is again going to be an interesting weekend. Latest model runs now pushing a little bit more of the incoming moisture out further into the Atlantic, which would impact our potential for some snow flurries. But right now, that is just one model run. We are keeping snow for now in the forecast. It does look like we will have an opportunity, a pretty good one, for potentially seeing some flakes coming in as we head into your Sunday afternoon to Sunday evening. That's kind of the time period that we've been tracking with the system. As far as air temp out your door, most of us in the low to mid 40s. A few of us still in the mid to upper 30s, closer to the Virginia line. But winds today have tried to keep us cool. Northwesterly winds blowing in at about 7 to 15 miles an hour right now are doing a pretty good job of keeping our air temperatures from getting any warmer than the mid 40s. Coming up for tomorrow, those winds are going to be swinging around to the southwest. That's going to bring in more heat and maybe a little bit more humidity as well. But for this afternoon, it's again looking chilly, if not downright cold. In fact, we're going to be dropping below freezing tonight by the time we get to 7 p.m. And with clear skies overnight, temperatures really are going to continue to fall until the sun comes up again. 19 degrees by 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, 21 at 8, 26 by 9, 32 degrees by 10. It's going to be a cold start to the day tomorrow. Make sure you have the jackets ready. But ironically, the southwesterly winds and sunshine will actually take us a little bit warmer tomorrow than where we are today. Now, I do want to say you are welcome to Darnett Gardner. Thank you so much for joining me over on Facebook. You are very welcome for the updates. And again, we'll get to that snowfall forecast coming up here in just a moment or two, but want to give you guys a look at the overall breakdown of the system. Now, that cold front you're seeing off of our coast right now, that was the system that brought us the rain showers yesterday. That's now clear of the coast. High pressure will follow, keeping us sunny for both today and tomorrow. But as we head into Saturday, that high pressure system is going to fade. We're going to get the next cold front that will be driving itself down out of Canada, moving its way all the way down into portions of the Gulf. In fact, Florida is going to be experiencing some of the cold air out of this system. Now, as that whole front moves off to the east, it will fully stall along, I would say, about 15, 25 miles off of our coast. And that's where another area of low pressure is going to develop. And it's that low pressure system that's going to be giving us the opportunity to get some of that moisture mixing in with the cold air that will be present. As we look at that cold front moving through, you can see very little moisture for eastern North Carolina. The mountains are going to eat up most of the moisture associated with that cold front, but the cold air is certainly going to make it in. It's just going to be dry air. That's usually our problem. Whenever we get very cold, we miss out on the snow because the moisture rides out ahead of that cold air. We got to get another system into the east to try to prop up that snow chance. So right now, this is again the latest model run highlighting more of that moisture scooting further eastward, and that eliminates its interaction potential with the cold air over eastern North Carolina. So latest run right now not looking all that promising for you snow lovers out there. You can see the swirling low pressure center right now down next to the bottom right hand corner of your screen in that kind of yellow zone. If that low gets closer to us, then we again get snow back in the forecast. But right now, we are still a little bit early in the snowfall prediction game, but we do want to highlight it for you because, again, a little bit of a shift further back to the east, and we are right back into that opportunity for some snowflakes and a wintry mix of rain and snow coming in Sunday afternoon to Sunday evening. If we do see snow, I'm not anticipating a lot. It's not going to be a complete shutdown, white out sort of a thing. This is maybe an inch if we again get the snow back into the east. It's not going to again be something that is really going to take all of the bread and milk out of well, it's probably going anyway. I'm getting laughs from the newsroom. It will be gone just because that eastern North Carolinians, it's a knee-jerk reaction. You hear snow in the forecast, time to go get your milk sandwiches ready, but you don't need to. This is not going to be that type of system. Road crews are going to do a very good job of keeping, again, that brine on the roads. And while we are anticipating the whole system to start out as rain, that duration of rain and the intensity of those drops really not going to be enough to fully wash that brine off of the roads. Well, it will take some, but it's not going to take all, and I don't think we're going to be looking at a complete shutdown of eastern North Carolina by the time we wake up Martin Luther King Jr. morning. Now let's get back to that 8-day forecast. 39 on Sunday, drops to 20 degrees overnight. So it may not, again, be snow on the ground, but ice will certainly be present across parts of eastern North Carolina. Keep that in mind. Just because you may not see flakes come down, those air temperatures are going to be dropping, and that creates still slick conditions early Monday morning, especially around bridges. If your commute takes you over a bridge, either to or from your office or place of work, take it slow. Go early to work. That way you can drive safely over those bridges, leaving plenty of space between you and the car ahead of you. 41 degrees on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, drops back down to 39 degrees on Tuesday, and then we'll slowly try to warm up as we head through next week. It's going to be a process, but I do think we should see at least air temperatures return to the upper 40s by the time we get to Thursday. Now, I've got some questions here. Bruce Hatfield, thank you so much for the kind words. Hopefully you're having a great time in Chapel Hill. Don't think Chapel Hill is going to be seeing any snowflakes out of this system, but you're welcome to come eastward if you want, Bruce. As far as Joshua Armstrong, snow on the ground for Greenville. Josh, if you were to ask me this question 3 hours ago, I'd say yes. Yes, we are looking at snow on the ground in Greenville. But with these latest model runs pushing that source of moisture, that low pressure system further eastward, that takes Greenville a little bit further away from the center of moisture and gives us less of an opportunity to see precipitation, whether it's rain or snow, down quite a bit. So we're still anticipating where those actual snow accumulations will line up. Latest model run, again, not looking good for snow lovers, but it will bounce back and forth a bit. This usually happens whenever we are forecasting snow. The position of low pressure is crucial in determining how much snow, or if we will see snow, out of those systems. So that's kind of where we're at right now as far as the forecasting goes, keeping an eye on how well the models are initializing. That means how well do they start? We put current conditions, our current air temperatures and our current pressure into those models, and if they, show something similar at the start, we know, okay, those models are performing well. If we see a big separation from where we currently are and what the models are suggesting, we know, okay, we can kind of, I don't want to say fully disregard those models, but we'll put less emphasis on them when we again make our forecast. So that's kind of how we take these changes that happen 2 to 4 times a day into account, and how we again account for everything in the forecast. But Josh Armstrong, I think yes. I still think yes, we will see some snow on the grounds, maybe not on concrete or cement, on the asphalt, but grassy surfaces, I do think parts of Greenville, particularly possibly towards, I know it's not Greenville, but just outside around Simpson, may end up seeing, again, certainly some snowflakes accumulating on those grassy and elevated surfaces. Of course, we will have a more accurate forecast as we head through Friday and even Saturday, as models continue to try to pinpoint where that low pressure system is actually going to end up and where it actually goes once it does actually form off of our coast. But for right now, we're still kind of in that waiting game, and that's why we haven't put out an accumulation forecast. If you're sitting there wondering, if you guys think it's going to snow, why don't you tell us where the heaviest snow is going to be? Because we know right now that there is still uncertainty in the forecast, and we really don't want to either A, get people's hopes up, or B, create too much worry about the potential, which right now it still is, the potential for snow. But great questions, guys. Again, if you guys have any questions, we do these hits again at the top of the hour. We'll be back with more news and weather coming up at 3 o'clock. Until then, I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your Thursday. And for those of you who want snow, I hope you get it. For those of you who don't want snow, I hope you don't. And we'll see you guys back here coming up at 3.